Let's talk about Russia's response. We know that Russia's President Vladimir Putin slammed the attacks in Iran, saying they were unprovoked and unjustified, in a meeting with Tehran's foreign minister, but didn't announce any really concrete support for his key ally in the Middle East. So we know that Moscow's a big backer of Iran, but he's not actually swung forcefully behind Russia's partner. What's your assessment of Russia's response, and what can we expect from here?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think it's Russia's response. And I think the other thing to look at is both Russia, obviously, as you say, Putin did make that statement, but look at the whole of the Middle East. Isn't it very interesting that none of the Arab countries whatsoever came to Iran's support at all? I think that actually says a lot. And generally, I actually look back at President Trump's trip to the Middle East and look, I bet you he was talking to all the countries he visited then, including Saudi Arabia, but not limited to Saudi Arabia, and talking to the Remember at the time, very interesting, Gabriella. Remember, he didn't go to Israel. People said, like, why didn't he go to our major ally in the Middle East? I think it's because he was garnering all of their support so that not about the this particular attack, but I think that at that time he was making sure that we were well allied with the rest of the Middle East. And Putin, all it was a statement, and he was just barking like a little dog.
Yeah, excellent point. Now, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has called on China to prevent Iran from closing the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important shipping routes. So any disruption to the supply of oil would, of course, have profound consequences for the economy. But China, in particular, is the world's largest buyer of Iranian oil and has a close relationship with Tehran. And we know any attempt to disrupt operations in the Strait could send global oil prices skyrocketing. What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I would say, yes, you're totally correct there. China actually has about 54% of the output that comes through the Strait of Hormuz. So you're right. China is far more vulnerable. I do think it's very interesting, actually, that right now Brent crude is just at $69 a barrel, and we have not seen any massive spikes. Actually, after the Israel-Iran ceasefire was announced this evening, all oil prices have remained steady. So I think after this evening, I think you're going to see some stability in the next few days. And I don't think we're going to see what a lot of the negative press, and we started out talking about the mainstream media, the mainstream predicted this terrible skyrocketing of oil prices. Hasn't happened. And now with this ceasefire, Gabriella, I don't think it will.
Let's turn to what is happening inside the United States. Kamala Harris, she's reportedly considering running for governor of California. Sources told The Hill that she's considering all her options, but she's not done with public service and is giving the race strong consideration. Now, of course, the decision by Kamala Harris to run for governor would be significant because that would mean she's not going to run for president in 2028. What do you make of this?
Well, first of all, don't forget, she actually had that would be zero votes in the primary. She was the one that dropped out first. And then all of a sudden, when she became vice president, then obviously the Democratic Party undemocratically took out Joe Biden, and then she lost the election. So her track record isn't very good. She hasn't had public support. And the other thing, Gabrielle, I think is really interesting is, did you know that she's taking July off? From
I
what?
did not know.
They went to Hawaii to take off time. She's always taking time off. From what? You can't take time off when you're not doing anything. I just don't think she's got a track record in terms of voting, and she's not doing anything, nor has she really achieved anything. What record is she ever going to run on? Look at the state of California. Californians have voted that state. They go to Texas. They go to Florida. It's a failing state. I don't think she has a record to run on, and nor the support.
Hilary Fordwich, President and founder of Strelmark, thank you so much for speaking with us. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure, Gabriella.